use of social media resources, would this fit in with your idea of providing more student-centric learning through active and experiential learning? Or are there other methods as well that you use to try to facilitate a student-centered pedagogy?
Yeah, thanks, Mark. I think that's a very important aspect as well. How do we shift from a teacher-centric to student-centric? And that's very important because we are giving them a voice. And learning is about making them speak, making them think, making them write. I mean, it could be in many different forms, but the ability of us to do that. So whatever we are talking about is the platform's interventions. So starting from social media, yes, that's one aspect real-time that we could use. What other methodologies do I use with technology or without technology? As I say, technology doesn't, it must not come in front to force feed, but it kind of complementary to what you are intending to in terms of pedagogical design. So for example, I use experiential and active learning quite a bit. And I do that differently in different lessons. For example, when I say student-centric, one of the very powerful thing in at least management and leadership is about case studies, number one, right, where they interact. And I'm talking about case studies which is not on a traditional aspect. I'm talking about case studies checked with interviews with practitioners, real life people, for example, interviews with them, so they can resonate contemporary what people are talking about. It is then checked to perhaps visualization, for example, a manufacturing firm. How does a manufacturing firm value chain looks like? So they really can see, not on paper, but really visualizing that. And then contemporary articles that comes together with the topic you're teaching. For example, newspaper articles of contrary views and comes in. So they are given this aspect of contemporary aspect as real time. It's something that can real time. That's one aspect of case study. I do role plays, for example, and role plays are very powerful because they get into their roles of managerial roles and they actually negotiate. Sometimes, right, if bandwidth allows, right, especially pre-COVID, I bring in industry partners to be panelists. For example, in retail industry or F&B industry. So there'll be two people, they come in, they give 10 minutes of advocate, they sit in the panel, they watch one role play, and they give feedback directly. Now, this is very powerful because students tend to listen to practitioners as much as they want to listen to us, but they know that this is real. And that becomes very powerful as well. The last not least, I would also like to emphasize that I've created an app recently, right, which is a collaborative app where there's an array of things where I leverage on technological aspects. So for example, intra-group. So there will be a group that is participating, right? There'll be another group which is participating. After this group have done their discussion, it is kind of swapped over among groups. So it's an intra-group aspect. Now, the functionality also allows them to ask questions. For example, in the mobile phone, they can type in their questions after you cover a concept. They can type in the questions in 4 categories. They can ask a question, they can clarify, they can add on points, they can give comments. And there are many other features. So 3 things just to sum up. Number 1 is case study that I use, and as an example, I've explained that. Role play, for example, right? Number 3, technology aspect intervening. Last one, if I may add on, just to push the boundary a bit more, is service learning, community, right? I try to bring them out of the classroom to do service learning. And this needs some preparation, of course, but I try to take that into what I call as fieldwork report. They have a fieldwork report, and they tend to go out at least once or twice to interview people or to do some work outside the classroom.